What's going on YouTube? This is IPSEC, and we're going to be doing TikTok from Hack the Box, which is another Sherlock challenge. It's a defensive one, and I haven't solved it myself. We're going to be doing it live. I have helped a few people based upon the things they've asked me. I kind of know what's in here, but I haven't collected the data myself, ran the analysis, and done things, right? They kind of just said, what are ways we could look for X? And I briefed them or gave them answers. But let's go to the scenario. Gladys is a new joiner to the company. She received an email informing her that wants to do some remote work, and she is guided towards a call to the IT team where they walk her through allowing remote access to a computer. Unfortunately, that was a rogue group. It was hackers, and they tricked her into running a program. And this is something that happens so often. You'll probably work this case at least once a month if you're in any type of IR, right? Someone calls you or you call them, and they guide you into installing a legitimate remote access software like Screen Connect, Teamviewer. There's another one, I can't remember the name, but they just get you to install it, and then your system gets compromised. They normally install ransomware or something like that. Not the most sophisticated, but sometimes they pass you off to a sophisticated adversary or sell access. So I'm excited to do some IR against this because it's good public IR and good experience for you, right? So let's look at the questions, and then we'll go explore the data and answer the questions. So what is the name of the executable that was uploaded as a C2 agent? This could be Screen Connect, could be TeamViewer. Sometimes they get called C2s. Could also be like Cobalt Strike, Metasploit. I'm trying to think of the Empires, the PowerShell one. There's a bunch of C2s it could be. So I'm kind of interested what that is. Task 2 says, what is the session ID for initial access? This leads me to believe it's like Screen Connect because those create log files that log session ID so you can track what's happening. Of course, C2s that are done maliciously or I guess covertly, I should say, don't have log files, right? We'd have to do some like memory analysis or decrypting network traffic, which is probably out of scope for medium Sherlock. Task 3. Attacker attempted to set a BitLocker password on the C drive. What was the password? So this leads me to believe it's going to be ransomware, right? The attackers are using legitimate things like a legitimate remote access software, a legitimate way to encrypt the drive because they don't want to worry about antivirus, right? Defender isn't going to say, hey, BitLocker, you can't encrypt the drive. So it looks to me they're trying to encrypt it. Then they will extort Gladys for money and say, give us $100 in gift cards, probably more than $100 in gift cards, or you won't get the password back to your computer, right? And it's important to kind of keep a track of what sophistication level you're going against, because this is an IR investigation. Doesn't mean you shouldn't look for both sophisticated and unsophisticated, but people want answers quick. So you want to know where to start. Now I'm starting a bunch of unsophisticated things. I'll prioritize looking at like remote desktop, just the obvious ones. I'm not going to look right away at a lot of just advanced techniques right now. I will still look at them, but if I want to get answers quickly, I'd probably start at the more basic ones. What is the name used by the attacker, first and last name? So I'm kind of curious how that OPSEC leak happens. What IP address did the C2 connect back on? So they probably have a legitimate C2. I wouldn't ask this question if it was like TeamViewer or Screen Connect, because there's a cloud software. They have a lot of IP addresses based upon the location to minimize latency, right? A lot of just C2s don't have global networks and try to minimize latency. So they have fewer IPs. Doesn't mean people don't have a lot of forwarders set up to do things, but it's just a question I see more often when it deals with actual C2 and not remote access software. What category did Windows Defender give the C2 binary file? So again, if this is remote access software, it could be some potentially unwanted program or application, PUA. If it's C2, it could be like a remote access Trojan. I forget what that last letter means. It is a D, so it probably indicates something. Maybe that says it's deleted. Let's see. What is the file name of the PowerShell script the attacker used to manipulate time? So it looks like we have some type of time stomping. An easy indicator of this would be just looking at the timestamp, because timestamps are 32-bit, and the actual, what is it? The timestamp's 32-bit, but most people only set it to be like a second. So you have all those lower numbers being zeros. If it comes out of like a zip archive, it is still going to be zeros as well. So you can't always trust that, but it's just something to look at, right? And if you want to know more about that, let's go over to, let's see, F11, and we can say ipsec and type like 32-bit time. And we see compromised, I talk about it. There's probably multiple boxes I talk about timestamps, but you can just search around, undetected, compromised. Those are ones I would definitely talk about, right? And I even say my favorite way to find tools left behind by hackers. Maybe we'll do some advanced time looking in this video. I don't know. What time did the initial access start? What is the SHA-1 and SHA-2 sum of the binary? How many times did the PowerShell script change the time of the machine? So it doesn't look like it's time stomping. It looks like they're just changing the time, which means that won't be an indicator, right? More indicators of this would be changing the event log. Like when you change the system time, a thing is written to the event log to tell you it changed. So we definitely need to look at that. And I'm also laughing because before, what time did the access start? Just before that question, attackers manipulating time. After that question, attackers manipulating time. You can't trust time. What time did it start? I just find that funny. I'd be curious if we can get a known good time out of that. It's going to be hard because if they're changing the physical time of the machine, it's hard to know exactly what time it was written. Maybe there'll be a timestamp of a server talking back to us that we can pull and compare with the active time. I don't know. What is the SID of the victim user? And that is it for the questions. So let's go take a look at what we have, right? As always, I'm using Obsidian. We have some questions over here just so I can stay on track with what I'm answering. But I typically don't focus my investigation around answers because that's not realistic. And we learn so many cool things when we go off the reservation, right? So let's look at what we have. I'm in this collection directory already. These files are just going to be like cape output. This is the tool that was used to collect it. We could read it and kind of get an idea of what is collected here, but that's generally not what I like to do. I like just looking at the files themselves because sometimes people will drag files that weren't part of cape into this or other things, right? Maybe it just didn't get logged. If you don't know what I'm talking about with cape, you can always go to the I like to video. That is a Sherlock that has a similar type of files we have. And before I forget, we need to make myself smaller so I don't keep getting in the way of things. So let's take a look. What I want to start with is, well, I see it right now. We have MFT. So I think that's called the master file table. It's like the NFT and I'm blanking on the file system name that Windows likes using. NTFS. That's it. The journal where like files get created, files get deleted. It'll have a bunch of metadata around that. So that'll be good to process. The other thing I like looking for, let's see. Let's look at event logs. So star.evtx, do we have those? We do. So we have event logs, EvtX. Another good log file to search for is files that end in log. And we have some. It looks like, let's see. We have Teamviewer. So Teamviewer is definitely installed. We have a user profile because we got in app data. So we can say logs.log, user profile. Let's see, MFTECmd run. This is going to be Defender. This up here is also Defender. I'm guessing this is like a scheduled task that's running because users typically don't just run MFTECmd to manually look at files. If we look at it, that is odd. Let's just try to cat it. There we go. If we cat it, we see a bunch of things. Let's see, go over to less. God bless. It's in UTF-16 format, and I don't know the flag off the top of my head to view it, but we can just scroll up and we see like it's running signature update, Spynet service. That's a funny name to give something legitimate, like Spynet. Just sounds so ominous, but we have logs. We have the user profile. Let's see. There's a much in program data, just Microsoft, so it doesn't look like we really captured program data. like browser profiles, the history file would be good to look at, because chances are if they got a phone call, I can also put that maybe browser history, because if they get a phone call, that means they probably downloaded the file with their browser. So let's see. The last thing we have, and sorry, I'm a bit scattered. My dog wants to go outside and she's whining at the door. So sidetracking while we get through this. Let's see. There is a prefetch directory, so let's look at that. Prefetch. So the prefetch file, when you run an executable on Windows, it saves some metadata around it so the executable can run faster the next time it gets launched. And we see some things like Teamviewer here. I see Merlin. Merlin's a known C2. War Manager, this is normally used for like process spoofing, I want to say. Maybe it's process hollowing. Or not War Manager, War Fault. Like Cobalt Strike, this is a default thing for that. I'm not sure if Merlin uses this as a default for how they do it. Essentially, I want to say it starts up a binary called War Fault and then injects whatever they want to run into that, so you can't see the exact thing they are trying to run. Let's see. We got that prefetch. We have event logs already. I guess the last thing we would want to look at is, do we have the registry hive? So that would be in system32 config. We do. And we have, I'm going to put this up at the top. So registry hive, because this is the first thing I want to look at, because it's so quick, right? And it always gets quick wins. So we can do secrets_dump.py and then specify the SAM file, the system file. Let's do security as well. And then say local. And this is going to output a bunch of information. 31D6, this is a blank NTLM hash, AA3B or AD3B, blank LM hash. So no administrator password, no guest password, no default account. These accounts are probably disabled. We have Forla Workstation Gold and Gladys. So we can just crack these hashes, right? So let's put this in our log file, or let's just go over to ntlm.pw. I really need set and install a better password on, or a better browser on this. ntlm.pw. There we go. So we can put the NTLM hashes here and see if they're a known password. Typically, I wouldn't recommend using sites like this because you're trusting whoever you send these passwords to. If it doesn't crack, they can always like try to crack it individually, because this is just using a database, right? So they have, is that 8 billion unique passwords? If it doesn't crack, they may try to use a rule file to crack it. And if like a company name is in that, now they know the password, you don't, and that's a big info leak, right? But we're in investigation. Attackers already have this. We need things quick. We do get 2 passwords. So both of them did crack, E19 and 217. So let's add those into our notes. So we can do creds and then paste it. And let's add the username as well. So going back here, we have Forla Workstation Gold, and it having gold in the name is indicative of it being like a gold image or gold account, which is very bad. They should use something like LAPS, the local admin. Is it local admin? It's like local admin password solution, I think is what LAPS stands for, and make all these passwords unique, because it having this same password on every machine means users can likely just do lateral movement with this password. They don't even need to crack it because they can just pass the hash, and then they can just access all the workstations as admin, right? One of the big things, they access all the workstations, dump all the credentials. They probably won't use Mimikatz right away anymore because LSASS is such a protected thing. Instead, they'll go after like browser profiles to dump all the saved passwords in that, because it's less monitored than LSASS. But definitely don't have gold images. Even though I was doing a forensic report, not a pen testing thing, if I saw something like this in the local account, I would definitely be calling it out and saying, this is bad, right? You don't want to have the same account on every machine. You don't want to have local accounts even. But if they don't have like Active Directory, of course, maybe every user has their own local account. Just don't have the same password on every machine because that is really, really bad. Let's see. So let's go back to what we have. So we've done registry hive. Now I'm going to set up things to look at MFT and event logs because this can take a while to process. So I like having this running in the background while we look at other things. So let's see. Let's go. How do I want to do this? Let's go mount C Sherlocks Tock make dir analysis. Make dir after analysis, I want to do MFT. And then let's say, let's process the event logs, or let's process the MFT. I said MFT there. I was thinking event logs because I created this directory in my Ubuntu shell. The whole reason I use Windows for these Sherlocks videos is pretty much the MFT analysis program works best on Windows. I don't know how to do it on Linux. Apparently Chainsaw does support it, but I can't get it working. So I always use Windows for that. It's the main reason I'm using Windows for this video. So let's do C:users IPsec desktop MFTECmd.exe. This is the program of it. This is just on GitHub. Again, if you wanted me to explain this program, go to my channel, look at the I like to video because that's where we run it the first time. So we can do the file, and that's going to be in C:\Sherlocks Tock collection C $MFT. Okay. Then we want to say we want output in JSON to C:\Sherlocks Tock analysis MFT. And then I'm also going to specify the CSV in the same directory. I have a dash there. I don't want that dash. How do I get rid of the dash? There we go. So I'm not sure if I said it. I got distracted. CSV is useful for like a program like Timeline Explorer if you load it to Excel. I like just parsing JSON, but you can't really go to the CSV easily if you only did JSON. So just like my Nmap, I output it in every possible format because it doesn't really take much longer to do that. And I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? And that was quick. That did not take long to process at all. So we have the MFT processed. Let's see. We also want to do event logs. So let's make dir EVT. And I'm going to have two things going at once probably because this one's going to take a while. Or maybe it won't. I like doing chainsaw, and then we're going to do hunt first, and then we have to specify the sigma, then the rules, chainsaw rules, then the mapping that maps like rules to sigma, I want to say, chainsaw mappings, it's sigma, event logs all, okay. And then after this, we got to give the event log directory, I want to say, and then maybe we can just say out file real quick. Chainsaw.hunt.log. And then let's do mount C Sherlocks Tock collection C Windows. Where are event logs stored? Find.grep EvtX. Let's see. We did Windows, System32, logs. Paste that. Let's get rid of the double that. Run it. And it looks like it is chugging along. Awesome. Shoot. There is a skip error, right? Let's see. Chainsaw hunt. Skip errors. We want that. -- skip errors. Okay. So now it's hunting. We also want to dump all the logs. It's the pane I'm on. Okay. And I'm going to say log dump.sh. And let's do for log in. We really should go to this directory. Copy this. pwd. Grab it. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is how I do it. So we grab every single log file. Then we do a do. And we want to do a chainsaw dump. Let's not forget to skip errors, -o. This is going to be out file. So we're going to do i.json. Specify we want the JSON format. And then the log path /i. And let's put this in quotes because some logs do have spaces in them. And then done. So if I do bash log dump now, we errored 100 times. Because, why did we error? Echo. Bash. Let's see, let's just run one command and look at it. Oh, it didn't put. Out of habit, whenever I'm in for loops, I call the variable I for index, and we call it log. That looks better, right? So let's get rid of the echo. Run it. And there we go. Now we're dumping all the logs. So we have chainsaw running. So what we have, I don't want to say done. We'll say gathered, running. So what do we want to look at first? Let's go for prefetch. cd collection, C Windows prefetch. And let's see. Let's pipe this over to less. This is not interesting. Dism host, not exactly interesting. That could be like bitlocker or something. Explorer. So we have Firefox. So we know, let's see, let's grab this. 20 prefetch. Do bash, so we have that syntax highlighting. I'm just logging Firefox there because it's nice to know when we look for browser profiles, right? Cape, this is probably when the forensic investigation started. We don't have the exact time. I wonder if we should get that. Probably. Merlin. That is interesting. Edge, MFTECmd run, Notepad. I'm going to highlight this. A lot of users may not run Notepad, and I do see ransomware people like use Notepad to communicate with the person. PowerShell, probably not interesting because PowerShell always runs in the background. Run DLL32s. Not exactly interesting. That's just going to flood it. It could be. Each of these are different because it's like run DLL32, comma, the function you want to call. So that could be interesting. But a lot of things may just use it legitimately, right? So that'll put a bunch of noise. We do have Sysmon. So we have Sysmon logs. I'm going to put that in what we have because this is a huge win. Even if you aren't doing like any type of centralized logging, still do Sysmon. I know people sometimes say, well, attackers can clear the logs. Well, if you clear the log, it becomes a CTF because that doesn't happen legitimately. Someone malicious is on the system, right? So if they clear the logs, it's still a good indicator. It's something you want to know. I'm going to highlight all the Teamviewer stuff. Were fault. I am going to highlight this one just because it's so often used in C2s that like we want to look at the time of war fault and find a confliction, right? Because that would indicate they're using it. Which ones are really interesting? Firefox isn't super interesting. Merlin is. What is in the prefetch? Is this anything good? No. Let's just do stat against it. And we can grab it. So this is when I unzipped it. Prefetch, I guess, doesn't have the full timestamp. We see all those zeros. So let's just grab it. I'll put everything. So we'll do Merlin. There we go. Then let's see. The next thing we wanted to grab. We'll do Teamviewer. I'm struggling because I hate copy and pasting out of Tmux. I should have installed like a plugin that let me. Let's just do Teamviewer exe and setup. Merlin, Teamviewer. Okay. We'll do that. And let's do setup. Grab this. Okay. So let's see, Teamviewer. This is 5.4.12.34. Pretty much the same time. So as soon as it installs, it runs. Okay. So let's answer one of those questions real quick. Name of C2 agent. I'm going to say 20 prefetch, and then we can put Merlin like that. Okay. So now when we are answering questions, we can just go there, click here quickly, and see where we got it. Let's go to what else can we answer? I don't think anything, right? Sid, no. Nope, that's about it from the prefetch directory. So let's go back to what we have. I'm going to say done. Logs, again, is going to be the last. I'm going to put this as running as well. Let's move this up. Let's go look at the Teamviewer log. Find.-name star.log. Let's see. I'm guessing it's going to be this. This looks good. So Teamviewer log, what do we have? Let's see. I'm looking for like a connect event, right? Participant. So this is a host name. A name here. So let's copy this. Let's go Control N, 30, Teamviewer, log name of, let's do interesting lines. Okay. We have that. That'll be fine for highlighting. Let's see. We had a desktop name. I don't know if this right now is the workstation name of the client, which is the person that got hacked, or the workstation name of the attacker, but that is the thing it logs. We also have a session. We should log this as well. So that is him interacting with him. I guess it's a him. I don't know what Fritjof is. Grab screen. So there's ways to normally like run a command or upload files through the application. So that's what I'm looking for. Right here, it looks like they're grabbing the screen to set up the like VNC session. And they're having trouble. Let's see. There's got to be a better way we can look at this. Server URL. There's nothing indicative here. I was hoping it would have like the client ID or the license ID or something of saying. Valid hours 2. That is interesting. Oh, right file right here. Let's see. 1121. I can just search for Merlin. 1135, 11. That's funny. As I'm searching through, we have 1135, 1136, 1121, 1122, 1227. So that is the like time stomping that we talked about, right? Where is Merlin? So shoot, I lost it. Merlin. Okay. So we have this. String lines. Time jumps around in log. System time change. We already know that based upon the question, but that is something I would just be looking at while you do it. VoIP. So I guess there's a way for them to talk to people. And that may be it. So we have a few things we want to look at. I'm just going to go in this directory and show you a technique I normally use to confirm, or not confirm, but to help make sure I got everything I want to, right? So let's cat this Teamviewer. Then we're going to pipe it over to awk. And we're going to say, give me, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6 field. Okay. And let's do a sort unique-c sort-n. And this shows us like all the function calls, right? So if we see something dangerous here, we know to look at it, like write. There is a lot here. Couldn't get, so I may also like filter and split colon. So like this main window handler, I don't really care. I haven't found anything interesting here. Connect to other process, I guess, is interesting. Sender. So far I've seen sender, write, that thing I just put on my clipboard. So let's grep sender out of this log. Teamviewer 15, VoIP sender. Oh, this is the line it was, sender thread pool. So instead of doing all that, let's just go back here, pipe it to another awk, field separator of a colon, print 1, sort unique-c, sort-n, and this is going to be a little bit less to go through. And I think we have everything. I was looking for like command, run, things like that, but I don't see anything. If we grep this for write, we would have seen the Teamviewer thing. Teamviewer log. That's that. We wanted like inter-process communication, right? That sounded like dangerous. Grep enter process. Let's do again sort unique-c sort n grep-i com. Process control, ready to process commands. This is interesting. Let's just look at that. What happens around this? Doesn't seem to be anything interesting. So I think we got data out of Teamviewer logs. And they uploaded Merlin. So again, on the name of C2 agent, we can also link to our 30 Teamviewer log and say interesting lines there. Is there anything else we called out? Desktop name, oh, the name of the attacker. Full name used, 30 Teamviewer logs, interesting lines. And that was Fritjof, right? Okay. So we have that. And I also like putting ZZ whenever I solve something. Doesn't mean I'm not going to add to it again. It just hides it away so I know it's been answered. So let's go back to the what we have. So we've looked at this. I guess we didn't do a thorough job, but we did a good enough job. Let's see. Let's go roaming, Mozilla, Firefox, profiles. We're looking at the Firefox profile now. So let's see. SQ, where is places? Is this it? SQLite 3, places SQLite, sudo apt install SQLite 3. I don't know my password for this. Sweet, it's always password. Let's see. Now we have it. We can do a .dump. Is it .schema? Oh God, I hate SQLite. Let's see. SQLite history. History visits. Let's see. Let's just do .dump grep-i HTB. Okay, it's going to go in Mozilla places. .schema moz places. So we can say select. Let's see. Hash index. Okay, here we go. URL hash. Visit count, frequency, last date, origin. Is there another place it stores it? No. Mozilla origin. I was hoping to get like a timestamp. This is where I'd go to like ChatGPT or something. select star from Mo's places. Okay, we have what we want. Is it like dot describe Mo's places? Because there is a timestamp here. Oh, I want to look at the create table, not index. So ID, so we want to do select URL, probably title, and then where's a date field? Last visit date would be good. Last visit date from Mo's places. There we go. I will put this. I don't know if this is the exact history, but it's close enough. 40 history. And again, when you do like this type of investigation, the first comb through data doesn't have to be in depth and good, right? You just want to get a general feel. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a good way to do this. We did URL. What was the next thing? Title, which is often blank here. That's odd. And last visit date. Okay, we want to convert this to Markdown. So let's just copy everything here. Let's go in analysis. temp.sh. Let's see. Set paste. Did that paste? There we go. For I in for I in cat or bash temp.sh do echo done. Line 15. I'm not sure how I'm screwing this up. Let's do n. Is it period? There we go. Not the most elegant, but you don't always have to be elegant. We probably need to end that. Let's see. Does this... There we go. That is ugly. We spent all that time and I do not like it. I guess that's because I'm in some weird view of this, but I guess that's fine. So we have Teamviewer. This is where we downloaded it. So we can highlight this. And this is not epoch time. This is Windows epoch time, I think. I guess we should make sure these end. Let's see. So Teamviewer downloaded around this time. We have 3 downloads. So you go here. This is not indicative of any specific thing. Teamviewer setup, ref, Teamviewer, download Windows. version 15. So we'll just say this timestamp. Teamviewer downloaded. Okay. I don't think that answers any questions. We have this answer as well. That was in Teamviewer log. 30 lines. Where is the session? And I guess we should grep for whatever line was in the log around the session to see if there's multiple sessions, but we'll come back to that. So IP, time initial access. I am going to put a thing on history. Viewer downloaded. I should call this browser. Does this automatically update? PowerShell, time initial access. It does, sweet. And I'm not going to fully trust this time because I don't like how we got it. That's just when they downloaded the file. Yeah, it could be right. Where is initial access? Okay. So let's see, what else do we have on our what we have list? User profile, browser history, we'll say done. Probably did a poor job at that, but that's fine. User profile. What else is in the user profile? I'm not sure exactly what we wanted to call out. I think it was just the browser history. Let's see, Gladys. There's an app beta. So we didn't even get like the desktop or things. So there's not much. So I think that's done on Gladys, unless there's something interesting in Teamviewer logs. I think that's the log file we looked at. So we'll say that is done. So all that's left is analyzing event logs, it looks like. Yeah. So is that all done? We are still dumping logs. This is Windows State repository. Let's just go into our analysis. Go into EvtX. We do have a lot of log files now. Let's see. Grep. We can look at the chainsaw hunt.log. This is that, I wonder if I do a less-s, is that any better? Yeah. So this is the first chainsaw command we ran. So we have a bunch of defender things. It doesn't have much there, oddly enough. I wonder if that was like error processing things. We should look at the defender log to see if there's more data, because the question's asking for a specific threat name, and Chainsaw did not display it. So we have log tampering. So 4 times the logs got reset. This is back in 2022, 10/27. Defender had alerts 2023. Oh, the workstation name is, wait. Oh, that's the user. Never mind. Desktop DSM4PF8. Let's go to the Teamviewer logs. So the attacker's workstation was R30. Our workstation name is DSM. So I'm just going to say 05, interesting, and we'll call this out to be victim. Let's see. Victim workstation. Attacker workstation. We will put in here Teamviewer log like this. Okay. Let's see. Event logs cleared. This is so long ago, I'm kind of ignoring it. But again, timestamp time stomping and them changing the system time, maybe that shouldn't be ignored, right? Let's see. We'll just do a 50 chainsaw hunt, and I'll say system time log clear. Put that there. That's not format as well as I want it to. That's fine. I'm not going to put everyone. We can say 4 times. Okay. So this is registry things. RDP events. Again, all this is 2022. This is old. We have a new one. Session log off. Gladys, default user, gold image. Gladys RDP. Let's see. Let's do this. P events. Gladys RDP. Should say like notable. And I'm going to call one of these gold images out because this is probably them setting up the workstation. But if it's not, then the attacker changed the time back and has actually compromised the gold image account. And we've already talked about why that's important. So, yeah. Okay, Sigma rules. So firewall settings changed. This happens so often, it's annoying. Firewall rule modified. I don't care about firewall. Sysmon configuration change. Sigma. Sysmon config change. Maybe the attacker changed something, but more importantly, that's when we know Sysmon was probably deployed, right? Potential defense by raw disk access. What is doing raw disk access? This looks like it is Sysmon. That's fine, probably. Defense evasion. Sysmon. Auto run key modified. Explorer modified it. Run once. Gladys. I don't see exactly what they are changing. Maybe it's run once, delete, cached, update binary. Don't get much information out of that. File was deleted. OneDrive. Current version auto run key. Explorer. Defense uncommon tool. Merlin. And we have destination IP. So this is going to be, let's see, 2023-0838. Is that the same time here? Let's see. Merlin talks to this, which is an EC2 box. That's going to be a pain to copy. This is why I like viewing things like in JSON format. It's easier to grep, easier to search and filter out. But yeah, port 80. We want the PID. Source host name. Source IP. That goes in interesting. Okay, so we have what IP did the C2 connect to? That's in Chainsaw Hunt. It's probably going to be in other things, but yeah. And hopefully this isn't boring you, right? The whole purpose of this kind of is to show you all the information you can just get when you start examining logs and seeing it's the same things that would be in the questions, right? You don't need to go after the question first. And there's so much information here. I know I'm going to miss something, but it's taking so long to process those logs. I don't really have much else to do right now unless we just pause the video. And that Merlin, it is logging every single connection. Yeah. So let's see. We want to probably grab everything with this line. So we can grep this on Chainsaw Hunt. /s. Okay. This is probably time of initial access. Talks to time that. Okay. Let's see. IPC2. We've answered that. Defender we still need. BitLocker password we need. PowerShell script name we need. Time initial access. We have that. And let's say, where is it? That's in 50, Chainsaw Hunt, notable Sigma. There we go. I can say Teamviewer DL. This is Merlin run. SHA-1 sums, time changes, victim user. Okay. Raw disk. I think all these are going to be like Merlin's beacons, right? So not much to do here. I should view all that log, but it's a pain. Let's see. Do we have this finished? It is not. It is processing Sysmon. This is the file that we're like most interested in, right? I guess we could look at security log if that's done. ls grep-i security. Notification. It is not done. So I think security log and Sysmon are the two that we really want. I guess we could go for Defender. If that's here, it is not as well. We're striking out on all the logs. Let's see. Forla application. There's a PowerShell log, PowerShell operational. Oh, we didn't look at PowerShell console history. That's a good one to look at. We want to go here, collection, find .grep-i console. It was console host history, right? But yeah, we have this. So set execution bypass, and we have the PowerShell script, invoke time wizard. Okay, let's just copy this. We'll call this 60 PowerShell console host history. There we go. And let's see, that was question time initial access, time changes, PowerShell file to manipulate time. There we go. We have that. That was called invoke time wizard or something. Okay, we've answered that. Still processing the event log. Let's see, ls grep-i PowerShell. what do we have in this log? Nothing. That's funny. So PowerShell operational is blank. Okay. Sysmon operational is still processing. So I think I'm actually going to pause the video, get a drink of water, and we'll come back because we still have things, right? Probably shouldn't have dumped every single log and just focused on the ones I want because however long this video has been going, we just got to the one that was interesting to us. So that sucks, but live and learn. So I'll pause the video and we'll come back in a bit. Okay, all the event logs have been processed. So let's start with Sysmon because Sysmon is always a wealth of information, right? And it's a bit of a pain to search this just through command line because it's all like JQ syntax. I know there's better tools. I've learned JQ and I'm too stubborn to learn new ones. And wow, I just stopped on merlin.exe. This is going to be event code. Let's see. Event ID. Let's see. 80. Maybe it's system. Okay, 3. So 3 is going to be a network event ID. We want to go to Sysmon event IDs and see what there is, right? Does this page list it? Okay, it does. So like 1 is a process creation, 3 is network connection. We have image load, create remote thread, process access. We probably should pull the event, like the Sysmon log and see what they're logging, but I'm lazy and that sounds like a lot of work. So let's just see what event codes we have. So I'm going to do a JQ dot like that. And let's just make sure we go into the Sysmon log. We do. So let's see. I want to only show. Let's just do a grep. We'll be super duper lazy. Grep. Where is it? Event ID. Like that. 22. Wow, that's a high one. Sort. Unique-C. Sort-N. So these are all the event IDs we have. 296 process creation. 11. What is 11? File create. So we can see when files were created. 13. Registry events. 16 is service configuration change. Only one of those. This could be like persistence. So we could easily look at that. Let's see. Trying to think of a good way to do this. Maybe JQ dot like that. And then we want to do a -C. And -C is going to put it all on one line. And do a reset to fix my colors real quick. There we go. So now it's all on one line. I can do a grep. And we wanted to look for 16. So I'll do :16. Does that find anything? We also have timestamps. Quote colon ID like that. Event ID. There we go. And we can pipe it back to JQ and see exactly what this was. And this was them installing Sysmon. So they changed the config because I guess Sysmon loaded a new config. So if what I did here doesn't make sense, let's just break this apart real quick. So this JQ-C, that's going to put everything on one line. And then I just want to grep for the like tag I want, and then I pipe it back to JQ to split it up. That's the easiest way to work with this that I found. You could do a fancy select statement, which I do in I like too, but this is my natural way to do it. So let's go back to the fancy command with a unique sort. Event ID 22 DNS. So that's going to be all the DNS places it talked to. That could also be a fun one to look at. So let's do the same thing. Event ID 22. And then we could easily look at where it talked. So query name is what we want. So if we're just going quick, we can grep now for query name and see all the domains, right? We know they didn't download Merlin because they copied it through Teamviewer, so we wouldn't see that here. But this could be interesting to look at. There's them interacting with Teamviewer. But this is just kind of how I'd search through logs on a quick glance. But the one I want to focus on is event ID 1, process creation. And I'm going to get away from doing my hacky way to grep this, because when you do it, you lose a lot of information, right? So let's do like this. And then I'm going to do a pipe, and we can say select, and then we want to go down to what we want. The event, we want to go in event, event data, system, event ID. So that's how we want to select it. So we'll do select dot event, event data, no, event system. Event data was not part of that, right? Event data would be like the Sysmon information. System is not. So event system, and then event ID. Is it uppercase or lowercase? It's super case sensitive, which is annoying. Equals 1. Is it a capital D here? There we go. So now we can do JQ dot, and this is going to be all the process creation events. So what I want to do is now we'll select the fields we want to show. And I'm going to try something real quick. Could I easily put this on one line? I don't think. No. I was trying to split it up on lines. Doesn't look easy. We'll copy it once we're done and go over the query just like we did before. So we do a pipe after the select, and then we can do this and then select the fields we want. I'm going to say, let's grab, I'm just going to close that window. So we want command line. That sounds good. Company, I don't really care about. Current directory, that could be good. Image, I don't exactly want the full thing. I'll go with original file name, because this is a lot of data to fill the screen. Let's see, login ID, parent command line could be good. Parent image could be good. Parent process ID could be good. The process ID could be good. And the user plus UTC time. So those are the fields I want. Trying to think of a good way to do this. Let's just do this. Command line, event data dot command line, and a comma. Let's see if this works for us. Then we want current directory. Original file name. Process ID. Parent command line. This is so tedious. Parent image. It's one of those things, like I could have scripted it or did some macro to make it a bit less painful, but by the time I spent that, I would have been done doing this. Okay. Data.utc time. So I think that's all the fields. I'm going to encapsulate it in these brackets. I'm going to write it to out. And I wonder if I can just copy it like this and paste it in. Was out the... You have UTC time. Okay. I don't know why UTC time didn't show on this one. That was bizarre. So we have that. Let's go here. We put the brackets already. So I'm going to delete that and paste. It did not like it one bit. We have to put that all on one line. We're on this pane. There we go. V out. I saved it because I hate having it on one line, but it's just easier to work with. We go up. Let's go back here. Paste. And hope. There we go. So now we have it filtering just what we want, right? And we can use the same exact method we did before. So now I can say, what do we want to look for? I'm just going to grep for Merlin. And then pipe back to JQ. And now this is going to show me everything that has Merlin in it. Merlin, PID. What is this? Oh, this is them probably launching Merlin through Explorer. But we can see everything with Merlin in it. The parent command line Merlin is doing WRFault, so either it crashed or they spawned WRFault as a sacrificial process and then ran something. Let's see, Explorer. Where's them running Merlin? 1992 is Merlin's command line. So let's grab process ID like this. And instead of grepping Merlin, we can grep that PID. And because we're capturing the parent process ID, we can see things that Merlin is running. So, like, let's see. That's probably just a confliction. I don't know what that is. But here's where Merlin starts. We have a WRFault. Maybe they tried to migrate into this. I don't know exactly what was going on there. But we see cmd.exe being ran. The parent process is Merlin here. And here they are trying to do a mini dump. I'm guessing they didn't do double backslashes and it treated the backslash as an escape. So this command probably failed. We would want to look at c:temp lsas.dump to see if this existed, right? So let's go over to the MFT dump. This will be the first time of us using the MFT dump, but that's going to tell us the files, right? Because I did not see a temp in C. There is no temp. So maybe it wasn't collected, but because we have the MFT, we can see every single file. So let's go here. Cat 2020 JSON. We will grep for lsas.dump, pipe to JQ, and we have nothing. So lsas.dump never got created, so we can confirm that Merlin didn't do any, like, this did not work. It could be Defender blocking it, but we just know lsas.dump never got created. And that's pretty much all they use Merlin for. Again, we're not seeing a lot of data because we're only looking at event ID 1. If we got rid of that select and looked at all the data, now we're going to start seeing the network connections, right? And all these are null because network doesn't have these lines. We have to write a different filter to show that information. But I'm not too interested in it because we already answered the question about IP. So we have that. What else could we look at? So let's grep for PowerShell. See all the PowerShell commands that were ran on this. JQ dot. And right off the bat, this looks suspicious, right? Bunch of base 64, so it's doing an encoded command. If we echo that base 64-D, we see it's doing secure string. So it's converting really long password to a secure string and then enabling bitlocker. So really long password is what it is. Let's go back here. How do I want to show this? What pane was I on? 0. That's it. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to make a note. And I'm going to just call this 70 Sysmon. And let's see, this field is PowerShell JSON like that. And we can make a note that, let's see. Encoded PS, like that. So attempted to set the password. This is going to be really long password. Was that what it was? Really long password. Yep. And let's highlight that on 70 Sysmon. Encoded PowerShell. Okay. We can name this ZZ. We're done. The other good thing about logging like all the places we're getting this data from is when you do a incident and let's say we didn't have Sysmon data. If we found this in another log, it helps you identify other things you could look for, right? Because all the data is generally stored in multiple places. It's just a matter of finding it. So let's see. We looked at PowerShell. Is there anything else? There's this command, jab. I think that may be the same one we just looked at. Base 64-D, that is. Pre-download, that doesn't look fishy. Okay. So we looked at PowerShell. What other things would we want to look at in Sysmon? I don't exactly know. Defender category, time changes. So I want to see, let's go for the time change question. So we know time changes have been happening. That's probably not going to be in the Sysmon log. Go to Google. Maybe Bing would be better at answering this. Event ID system change time. 4616. Maybe that. The system event change was 6416. New external device. I don't know why that was shown. But we probably want to go to 4616, and that was in the security log, I think it said. Subject security ID. So let's see, ls grep security -I security event.json. So cat this .evtx JSON. It did not parse. That's not good. Why did it not parse? I guess there was something bad in this log file. So I may actually have to pause and figure out how to do this. I guess we can try log dump. Let's try this command again. Chainsaw dump -o. Running this again wouldn't help. There must be something wrong in that, and we have to find a different way to dump it. That is extremely, extremely annoying. I'll come back to that. I need to do research there. Let's see. malicious binary, time initial access, defender category. We can look at defender. ls grep-i, defender. Do we have the data in here? Cat this file. This is blank too. What the heck? I'm gonna find a different way to convert these to JSON, which means I have to go pull up OXDF's blog for this probably. See how he does it. He's probably laughing at now because I gave him a hard time for not using Chainsaw. Let's see. Time changes on the machine. So we can answer that later. Initial access. Yeah. So I'm going to pause the video, figure out a better way or a different way to convert these JSON things so we can actually analyze them, because that's weird. Okay, so OXDF used a tool called EvtxECmd. And this is the same place where a bunch of other tools I ran were like the MFT parser, right? So let's see. We want to download this version, .NET 6 and 4. I don't know what .NET version I have. Let's just see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll go down to the other one. Guess we want all those files. How do I minimize this? Minimize. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Let's open up CMDR. And let's see. We are going to want to go back in EVT. I'm going to make a directory new, I guess. Bad name for it, but oh well. So let's do C:\users IPsec desktop EVT CMD. Make sure it runs. It does. We want to specify the file and the log. Let's cat log dump.sh. It's going to be in this directory as security.evtx. Security.evtx. Wonder if we can do the /. I guess we'll find out. Okay, we want to say JSON, and then where we output the logs, I think. So C:\Sherlocks analysis. What do we call it? C:\Sherlocks TikTok analysis event new. CD new. That is not what I expected. It is not a EvtX file? Did something happen when I was like unzipping it? It is a size 0. What the heck happened? Is that how it was in the zip? Do I still have it? I do. Collection, C, Windows, System32, Win event, logs. It is not. Did I run out of space? Nowhere near that. I am at a loss for words what happened, but now we know why Chainsaw did not work. Yeah. I guess maybe that happened to the other logs too. Defender. Replace. Now we have data there. Where is Defender? PowerShell's here too. Let's see. We'll copy both of those. Unless the -f. Is that output file? Did I clobber it? Let's look at the syntax. Let's see. EvtX. How do we use this? F, file to process. That is not it. Darn. I was hoping that's what happened. Let's try this again. Hey, it is outputting. And it's warning us the time goes backwards because we can't trust the time here. And that went super fast. I've never used JQ on one of these events. Let's see. Why do we have two? Oh, one's the empty one. That's right. So cat JQ dot. It looks to be what we'd expect. We don't have event data like that, but that could just be because we're not in Sysmon logs. So we wanted that event code for changing. Here it is. Event ID 4616. Event ID. So let's do JQ dot select dot event ID 4907 174,616. That's event log cleared. Where did I get 4907 from? 4616. Oh, cannot open file. There we go. That looked like a lot of data. I'm just going to grep system time was changed. I want to make sure this is all the same. That is. So the system time was changed a lot. If we do a JQ-C, it's going to put it all on one line. So if we just count the number of lines here, we can see that can't be correct. 2,374 times? What? 2,374. That is not correct. Okay, good. Something weird is going on. Previous time, new time. Previous time, new time. It's going to grep map description. Let's see, there may be another event ID for this. Doing 4616. Event code system time change. What is the question? How many times did the PowerShell script change? the time. I wonder if we should just look at how many times PowerShell was ran. But I don't think that would help because this was ran through console, like we saw it through console history. We didn't exactly see it through Sysmon. So let's see. Let's go back to this output. Let's go through each of this. We have previous time, new time, this executable info. Do we want to look at executable info? grep-i executable. There we go. So we have a few things that are not PowerShell. So let's do jq-c. So we put it all on one line. grep-i PowerShell. wc-l. All but 3. 2,371. Is that right? Okay, that's it. That is a weird thing, but it is useful to know what is setting the time. So we can grab that, I guess. Let's make a note of this. Here it is. Do a new one. We'll call this 75 security log. Bash like that. There we go. And we'll say time change. And we have it. So 75 time change. Reading comprehension definitely does help. I guess maybe it's my fault because I just summarized the question poorly. The downside of doing it this way. We want to go in Defender, time initial access we need, SHA-1 sums, and SID. Let's go in Defender. We've now copied the new log, right? So I can probably just do star defender star. Does that work? Maps loaded. Do we have data? I think we do. Do not, maybe. That's 3 bytes. That is not the defender log. dirc : Sherlocks, TikTok, collection, C, Windows, System 32, Win event, logs. Let's do Defender operational. It probably just did not like the wildcard that we used because it probably matched 2 different event logs, and the -f is not meant for multiple files, is my guess. Put this in quotes. What are you complaining about? Unrecognized argument defender. Backslash the space. Are you kidding me? I may just edit that space out. Okay. Single quotes. Maybe? Does not exist. Let's make this exist. I've had enough use space. That looks better. We don't have that many event logs, but we have them. So here's this. It's probably going to be this. Copy cat. JQ dot. Is this defender? It is. Okay. So let's do a less. And what do we want? It was probably Merlin, right? There we go. So we have process detection. This is the entry. Let's go back here. 80 defender log. We can say that's JSON. Merlin detection. So let's see. Grab this. 80 Merlin detection. So we have defender category now. Time initial access SHA-1, and so defender probably has SHA-1 some and SHA-2. Let's see, we also have user ID. Detection. I'm going to add a -r for raw, so it stops double escaping things. Do we have like SHA-2 anywhere? grep-i SHA-2. We don't. Let's see. grep-i glad. That is what we want. Add a -c. jq dot. So where is glad in this? This is her desktop. I was hoping to get like the user ID. Grep. So we only have one user ID in this log. I wonder if there's anything in that other defender log. Because there were two, right? Or is just one? Defender. Let's see. What are the actual questions? SID, time initial access, SHA sums. I'm just going to quickly look to see if there's a log file we're missing, and then I'll look at defender more. MP log, MP detection. That is UTF. It's a lot more data in this log. Let's see, we want to make sure we view this, right? Maybe strings. -el. There we go. That converts it to what we want. So is Merlin in this at all? It is. I'm going to search for s dash. Lowercase s dash, no. There's SHA. Extended. I bet this is it. I just wish it would tell me SHA-1 or SHA-2. grep-si SHA 2. There we go. So this log definitely has it. We have Gladys, Merlin, SHA-1, SHA-2. So we can grab this. Defender log, Merlin detection, EVT, Merlin, SHA, log file, SHA-1, and then SHA-2. So I guess with Defender, it is important to know to look in 2 different locations. Because those logs have different things. So time initial access, we have a few times. Let's see, victim user, SID. So we really want to find that S, like the SID of the user. Bet that's in. Does secrets dump tell us? Can we get like SID? Local. Turn debug on, maybe? Maybe that gets it. Let's see. I'm going to example user SID. S.1. I want to search everything for S15. CDC grep-r S15 on everything. And that could take a while. So this is the user class it matches. App data. That doesn't look to be it. I hope this isn't something we have to just put together ourselves, right? Because the Impacket secrets dump, it did tell us the user ID, right? When we did creds. I don't think I saved the whole output, right? When we did secrets dump, it told us the user IDs because I remember the gold image being 1001. So we did have that. This didn't get anything. I think if we do a grep-ra and then put a period after each of that, it's going to get that UTF-16 little endian. It does, and oh man, that is a lot more information. So we want to get for what Gladys is. What if we did star there, then dash 100? Is that going to be any better? This is a horrible way to search, by the way. But it is a way. Find.-name star.log. We'll just run this grep against these logs. -exec grep ar s dot dash we'll do s15. Do it the same way. That did not get anything. Do we put this in quotes? Nope. I could have swore that string existed. Maybe it doesn't. let's see. I'm going to go back to the secret stump, C:\Windows, system32 config, secret stump.py, SAM, security, system, local. So she is 1003. Where is my notes? This is okay. This was 1001. So knowing that, we know it's going to begin with like a S-1-5, then the computer SID, then the user SID. Let's add a debug. What does debug show us? Target boot key, new style hash. Nothing. Dump.py-h. User status, history. There's a display DC options. Timestamp, no. Let's see. grep-a I S15 on maybe the SAM. Security. grep 1003. This is probably it. We probably got that a bad way, but this is probably, I'm curious. Let's see. That is it. I don't think we got that the correct way. Definitely check out like OXDF's write-up or something. I'm sure he did it a better way than I did there. But hey, any way works, right? So let's answer all the questions. What question was I on? Task 9. Let's make sure we have them all. Grab this. Paste. That's good. Initial access. We haven't finished that question. 7. Invoke Time Wizard PS1. Okay. Defender category is this. What? We'll have to go back to that. C2 IP. This. What name did the attacker use? This one. Attacker attempted to set a bitlocker password. That was really long password. Session ID. Name the executable. That's merlin.exe. Okay, we have 2 questions. Defender category. That is weird. Where do we pull that from? Defender, logs. So Merlin. One of those no slash if it's just. No, it does have the slash. see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bet there's 2 logs, and there's probably a different category of Win32. Like, I bet it's the meridian.d, but Win32 is probably where we're off. Does Google help? We have a different Windows flag for this. Still just says Win32. Let's see. Find.-name, star.log. Let's go back in the command line log. I'm just going to cd to this directory because that space upsets me. So we can run a strings on this. grep-i myrdd. We keep getting this detection. Do they want virtual? That is part of the detection. Okay. Time initial access. So let us figure this out. This is when Merlin was ran. So our year, month, day. Year, month, day. We need slashes. Okay, it's not Merlin. Windows does not use, that's probably not a Windows epoch time. Or not a regular epoch time. Windows has its own epoch. Is this it? LDAP. That is not it. 1606? No. Epoch converter. Let's see. That doesn't look right either. But it is. Okay. I guess maybe it's like millisecond time, right? Thursday, May. So where are we? May 4th. Let's see. Year, month, day, hour, SS. Does that work? No. And I lost my page. So let's do that so I can see this. 2023 month day. 2023 04. I think May be 5, I think. No. What is it? Month. Day. I hate timestamp things. I'm actually going to pause the video and find a way to convert this on the date command line. Maybe I don't have to pause it. Can I just do this real quick? Will I do this? Luckily, we'll try date -d, then plus year, month, day. Does that work? Percent. Year. Let's see. How do we do month? Lowercase. Oh, we're getting there. %H. %M. I'm guessing a lowercase s. Uppercase S. Look at that. That is beautiful. Wrong answer. All that work, and it did not pay off. What else could we use? Let's see. The previous question was like a session ID, so we could probably go off of that, I would think. We have to go back in the Teamviewer log. Do we just have that in our notes? Let's see. Teamviewer, participation, or a session. That's a participant. Try this. Because that's his desktop connecting to us, right? Wrong answer. Was that the right format? Believe so. Month, day, yeah. Five, 05, 04. Let's just go back into this log. Let's see. Find dot dash name stir dot log. Less on Teamviewer. Actually got to copy it. Okay, let's see. What are we looking for? I'm going to go grab this session string. Is there anything here? So we connect 27, handle block, set. Is there a join? No. There, we have it connected here. So maybe I'm off by a second if it's using this log. Wrong answer. Where is this? Maybe, is it up above? Leave session. Let's see. 35. We have some earlier. So session ID here. Let's see. Buddy log on. Incoming session. Connection incoming. This is what we should look for. Grep. Connection incoming on the log. Is this it? There we go. Now we have completed this Sherlock. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This went longer than I expected, but I guess maybe it's beneficial. Maybe I'll do more preparation in the future because that was more painful than I expected. Always the simple things that are hard, right? And I don't say more painful than I expected in a bad way. I mean, I learned a lot about the logs. I thought this would be something I would just breeze my way through based upon the questions, but it was not the case. So take care, and I will see you all next time.